A letter and a letter on a string will hold forever humanity's spellbound words, possession of the beggar and the king. Everybody, every day, you and I, we all can say words, regarded as a complicated tool, created by man, implicated by mankind. Words, obsession of the genius and the fool. Everybody, every day, everywhere and every way. Whoa, words, find them.
Well, I'd actually hoped to have come up with something a little bit more professional over the last couple of weeks, that I haven't been making videos, but no worries, I haven't. We're back in here, and the job that I've got to do over the next 2 or 3 days is, it's one of those jobs, I don't know, I just got not really a lot of enthusiasm for it. Strip, 5 terminations it's going to require with solder, because it's got to go around a corner, so there's going to be a break there, it's got to go around another corner, another break there, going to go around another corner, another break there, so 3, so there's lots and lots of terminations. So if you think there's 15, there's 30 soldered joints. Once it to come along here, the inside of the bar, that's fine, and the pickup is there for the power pack. But oh my god, he wants to come along here, and he wants it to come down here, and along the top of this step. And I just said, that's not possible. It's not possible unless I go and make another step. So I brought this mahogany from the boatyard. It's about 22mm thick sapele mahogany, sapele actually. And I've charged quite a lot of money for it because, well, it was being used. So I've charged 80 quid for the sapele there. Fair enough, really. I've got to machine it all and sort the front of this step out. Take off the old step and have a look at a few dimensions, get a couple of workbenches out, get some circular saws, some dust extraction, routers, get all that stuff up and running today, and then
find them, use them, say them, hear them, write them, read them, love them, feel them, find them. You can use them, say them, you can hear them, write them, you can read them, love them, feel them. Once a letter and a letter on
just been to City Electrical to collect my other driver, which you've seen me undo, and I had to go back again for another reason. But anyway, that was for another job. And what I've stupidly done is I've ordered not enough. I've ordered too much of the floor one, and this quadrant, I've only got 5 meters of it. I need about 7. So what you're going to see me do is a bit of a bodge. I am going to cut this floor flush extrusion. I'm going to cut it and put it on the end there. That's 45 degrees angle, and in that groove that you can see on each side, I'm going to put hot melt glue. Now it does occur to me that this is very high intensity LED, 20 watts per meter, so that is going to get quite hot and risk melting the hot melt glue and then falling down. So once the hot melt glue's put it in place, I shall suitably sized fixings. And then the quadrant, which is really posh looking. It's a shame I didn't get more. But the other thing is the customer wanted LED up the side here. If he's going to require that, I'm going to tell him he needs 2 drivers and it's going to be more money. So I'm just going to have to bite the bullet and tell him the bad news.
Sometimes you need to go and take a step back.
Okay, the time has come to put some glue where your mouth is. Put some glue where your mouth is. So let's see, let's check that this is turned up to the max, because I need it to, right, I need it to last. I don't want it to freeze. So 130, 185, 195, 175, 165. Now I've got to get all the way down there and all the way down there. Well, it's actually, I think we're going to just end up doing this, dotting it, aren't we? Because there's not enough time to do anything else. Oh my God, it's really dribbling, it's going everywhere, which is a pain. That's because I turned it up, probably. Is this going to work? Is it going to work? I'll tell you when I get over there. Try and put this up. At 45 degrees. Okay. I think it's going to work to an extent, but just there's dribbles of glue showing. That's what we've got. You can see here. It's just glued in there.
Like a bird on a tree, I'm just sitting here. I got time, it's clear to see. From up here, the world seems small. We can sit together. It's so beautiful, you and me.
Basically, with what's been my first attempt at soldering these 5 terminations on one strip, I'm going to attempt to show you, but I don't know if the focus is going to work. And I got too much solder on, and it was electrically joined between two of the conductors, which I'm testing out with I'm testing out each pair of conductors like this to make sure that that doesn't happen. So I filed in between them and filed away the solder. Bit of an arse of a job. It's taken me quite a long time just to get these first 5 solder joints in place. I ended up squashing 2 of the solder points together and then having to file between them to disconjoin them electrically. I've been testing them out with my voltage tester, which is also a continuity tester, just to check that there's no electrical continuity between each of the coloured cables, and there was. So there I don't know if you can see that, how in focus the GoPro, how close it allows you to go on the GoPro, but they're quite small points to solder. Well, this is my latest one. I think I'm about 4 into it now, and I don't know if you can see that. Quite pleased with it. Anyway, it's quite a good one. There, it's just about in focus. And that one, instead of taking me an hour, that one took me... oh, that one took me about 6 or 7 minutes. Didn't bring you with me on this journey, I'm sorry to say, because it was just going to be such a ball ache if it hadn't switched on. And I'd found that some of my, for instance here, where it's soldered into there, if I'd had a dry joint or something, it would have been just the most awful job to seek it out and resolder in situ. So this is the receiver that alters the colour of the LEDs, and then this is the meaty driver, which is 150 watts. Not warm yet. The ribbon conductor cable comes out of there, goes into, this is the only place there's a join in the ribbon cable. That's because the ribbon cable that comes up the wall hits the ribbon cable that's already joined to here, and I couldn't solder it in situ, so I just joined it there. That's a in situ join that I did on the table, and then there's 2 more joins here, one about here I did on the table, and one there I did on the table. Corner is a little bit rough, yeah, not too proud of the corner, the way it looks there. And also it does have a little bit of a dotty effect, doesn't it? Not so much on the quadrants as on the shallower extrusion. It'll go to green shade of white. Alright, so that's a green shade of white, and then I can go to a yellow shade of white, or a slightly rosier shade of white, or blue shade of white, like that, or very high intensity white. Take the white off, it can go from red, well that's orangey, the reddest, that's the reddest I think, you'll find. Purple, blue, green, and so on. Stop chewing bits of glue. Before I put everything away in my toolbox, in my tool bag, give you another quick tool bag tour. There's a few things still in there, punches. So I'll give you a quick tour of the go-to bag as it stands at the moment. There's a few things that I've doubled up, tripled up. I've got chicken sticks ×3 here as well. So first of all, wood filler, because I've got an upcoming job at the church in the choir stalls, is the 2-pret brown wood filler, which I've used down there, which I can show you. I often use this for cleaning out the bottom of consumer units and the top of consumer units and things before I install things. Tiny weeny little screwdriver set, comes in handy very rarely, but I carry it in case. I have used them before. Electrician's knife, CK electrician's scissors. Two of these really good things which I picked up from Jordan in Artisan Electrics. I got them off Amazon after seeing them on his videos. It does allow you to scribe through deep holes in pattress boxes and whisker boxes and whatnot, which can be useful. And then a similar thing which I found at Elex, which is a propelling pencil with the same idea. You can get into the little holes. Very useful design, nice design as well. I've also got the LEDs for that. Then my soldering iron, which you didn't see me using today, I just stuffed that tip on the lathe and cut it down to a little bit smaller, so it was good for the job. And I got reasonably fast at it by the end, and it was quite a rewarding job. That's the top that goes on it. Marksman for marking out behind whisker boxes and so on. Wouldn't be without them. In fact, I bought another set of punches, scribers I'm always in need of. I use these for all sorts of things, scriber with a hooked end like that. And then a set of files which I was beginning to think I never use, but I just did use today. I used a very knife-like thin one for getting the solder out between two soldered connections to stop a dead short. I don't know why they call them dead shorts. Tool Check Plus, which you've seen before. Again, that's got all your bits in it. Torx bits, security bits, hex, loads of screwdrivery bits. But most of all, I use it for the sockets. It's got a little ratchet driver on the top, and you can put it in to your impact driver as well there, and a nice. It makes a nice stubby screwdriver. Speaking of which, I do have a stubby screwdriver over here, which is I think CK, and it's got multi-tip. Inside you've got different tips, so I think it has 6 in all, 6 possibilities for driving that stubby screwdriver. And I picked it up for 20 quid or something at City Electrical. 3 chicken sticks, not sure why. I've got a small spirit level and this one. I've got a smaller one that's still in the bag, and this one. Enclosure key, my CK tools here. Wire cutters. I've got another big set of wire cutters, which my son's borrowed at the moment, a big set for which will get you through 10mm. Small and large side cutters, and my CK long nose pliers, Klein long nose pliers. I did have 2 sets of CKs and 1 set of Klein. I've lost 2 sets of Klein. I've lost 1 set of CK. 2 sets of CK now. Yeah, so I've lost 3 of these long nose pliers in all. Which is annoying. Always never really sure why I carry this around the whole time. It could usefully stay on the van and wouldn't need to come with me everywhere. I must remember that next time. Deburrer for the end for pattress boxes, knockouts, the ends of conduit and so on. Deburrer, very useful. Stripper, Chikari stripper, again that's good for getting the cup sheathing off armour. Chikari wire stripper and a Klein wire stripper. They operate in similar ways, one's horizontal, one's vertical operating. Out of the 2, the Klein are my favourites. Then I've got my Klein screwdrivers of various different sizes. I've replaced 3 of them. They've got a lifetime warranty, so anytime I want to replace them, I send them back and they get replaced, so I've never bought new ones. I don't know where these came from, but they fill in a gap. My surgeon's long nose pliers, very rarely use them, but when I do need them, I do need them. This I do use more often, and this is extremely useful. These are a pair of tweezers which you can lock, and are very good for getting into places you can't otherwise get to, back of distribution boards for poking around, and many other uses. Knipex, or Knipex, parallel adjustable spanner. Of course, this is a star of my bag. You've seen that before. Pipe wrenches. For some reason I've got this in the back of there, which is great, so I can use it with my impact driver, which my impact driver also goes in this bag, which explains why that's in there. And then 2 sets of shock wave. I've got this one and another set which go in the back of the... last thing I thought I'd show you was, I'm always using quite a lot, is self-amalgamating tape. There's a few things still left in here. There are the hole saws, there's punches, more punches. These are the centre punches. There's one there, and one there. So I've got 3 centre punches always. And then writing instruments, another key of some sort, fountain pen. Yeah, so 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I've got 4 centre punches in there. There's another one there. And that's about it for that. Then a few things in here. There's the small level, as I told you there was one, and the leads for the pencil. Nothing in there at the moment. On the side here I have my Joker spanners, 10mm for M6 and a 13mm for M8. Oh yes, I've got gas in there for soldering iron, and I've got another shockwave, and I've got a laser measurer there. And of course I've forgotten to say this, and I do have a Milwaukee marker as well. So yeah, the square is an important part of that case, and it's my go-to place for a square. I've got 3 of these jaw horses. They're extremely good. I picked them up for each about £150. You have to watch out though, because they've dumbed down the design somewhat since the first iteration. The first one I bought 5-6 years ago is on another site, but I've got these 2, so you can see I really do rate them. You can turn these jaws round so that the jaws at the other end, you can get a door in there, and I've got extra long one so that it comes out to there, and you can actually get 8x4 sheet on 2 of them, an 8x4 sheet, so 4 feet grip. And they exert over a ton of pressure if you want to put it on there with your foot. So they're extremely versatile. The only thing is they are very heavy, but that's a good thing. I mean, that's why they're nice to work on. They are solid and heavy. Also out today, I've had my router set and router bits and my pack out boxes, and I've also used, haven't I? I've used my Milwaukee grindette, right angle drill, that. I've even used my Milwaukee 6-inch, is that? No, it's more than that. Anyway, that's the biggest circular saw that Milwaukee make. It's a magnesium casting here, so it's quite light. It's magnesium casting. And my CHPX and my old Milwaukee non-fuel jigsaw. There we go. So that's what I've used today. And my crimps box, I've used crimps, I've used heat shrink, and I just need to tidy up, put a clip on there, and some glue up there, which I've forgotten to do. That's annoying. I'll have to do that tomorrow. I was going to glue that. So, yeah. Okay. Well, like I say, if you enjoyed the video, please click like, please subscribe if you're not subscribed, and I'll see you next time soon. Cheerio.
Everybody, every day, you and I, we all can say once, regarded as a complicated tool, created by man, implicated by mankind once, obsession of the genius and the fool. Everybody, every day, everywhere and every way. Whoa, words, find them, you can use them, say them, you can hear them, write them, you can read them, love them, fear them once. transmitted as we're fitted from the start, received by all, and we're sentenced to a life with words, impression of the stupid and the smart. Everybody, every day, you and I, we all can say words inside your head can come alive as they said, softly, loudly, modestly and proudly. Words, expression by the living and the dead. Everybody, every day, everywhere and every way. Whoa, words, find them, you can use them, say them, you can hear them, write them, you can read them, love them, fear them. Do-do, 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 use them, say them, hear them, write them, read them, love them, fear them, find them, you can use them, say them, you can hear them, write them, you can read them, love them, fear them. Once a letter and a letter on a string,